Help me out here. Is this a horror movie or just a very disturbing superhero movie? Carrie is the remake of the 1970s classic based on the Stephen King novel, this time with Chloe Grace Moretz, as the shy, sheltered outcast who discovers a unique ability and what happens when her classmates push her a little too far. Julianne Moore steps in as her overprotective and wackadoo mom, who has a very warped understanding of what she reads in the Bible, which is actually one of my favorite parts of the film, so let's just start there. I really like that this movie makes a point to show that even though this mom is a nut job, it's not because she is a Christian, it's because she's deranged about what she believes about being a Christian. Now, many times when a religious person is shown to be crazy in a movie, we don't necessarily get that distinction, but here, her daughter even points out her hypocrisy and how the things she believes are nowhere to be found in the Bible. Now, it may seem like a subtle distinction, but it's one I noticed and appreciated as a person of faith who doesn't have to dig a sharp object into my leg for Jesus. I also really bought into these characters, much more especially than most horror flicks, and I think that's partly because there's some good performances here, but mostly because this is just a great story. Stephen King has crafted a very poignant look into the brutality and horror of what it means to be tortured in school. And with bullying seemingly more an issue every day, it remains a valuable insight. This movie remains completely faithful to the original in tone and execution, which makes for a good movie, but also made me ponder the question, what's exactly the point of this movie? And maybe that's the worst thing about this remake. It doesn't go anywhere new. I mean, it's a solid movie with solid acting, but haven't we seen this before? I suppose you could say the social media aspect of the humiliation is different, but it doesn't add enough to be of note. And am I the only one who feels like with this and the remakes of Evil Dead and Footloose and others that we're just headed to a world where the same movies come out over and over again in some sort of 40-year movie cycle? I mean, the effects are better and you get to see different actors in the roles, but at the end of the day, why not just go back and stream the original on Netflix? The movie also has a few minor inconsistencies with plot devices and high school movie cliches, but mostly I found myself waiting for some sort of surprise that never came. I should also mention the movie seems to amp up the blood and violence quotient a bit, so take that for what it's worth as well. In the end, Carrie is a well-made, well-acted movie with a message that remains valuable almost 40 years after the original came out, but does little to add anything new to the story. The result is a somewhat satisfying, but mostly unnecessary movie. Still, I'll give it a B-. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. If you'd like to see more, several ways you can do that. You can go to the yourmoviefriend.com page where you can search by title for reviews, or follow the YMF Facebook page for other news and fun stuff I might find interesting. Also, I'd love to have you as a subscriber on YouTube so you can see the new reviews as soon as they're released. All you got to do, hit that big gray subscribe button in the middle of your screen.